Hello and welcome everybody to another game of Squirrels Baseball. I am Aaron and we are playing the Cardinals today for the first time this season. Just went through the schedule before I hit record and made sure of that. I thought maybe we had seen them right at the very start of the year, but no, this is the first game. So we'll see what they've got on their lineup here. I do remember that I think back in the first season, or maybe it was early in the second season, but sometime right around there, they traded away Yadi Molina and kept Albert Pujols, which is a weird little alternate history to think about. Although I guess Pujols found his way back to St. Louis before it was all over. Alright, Gil is going to start this game. Alright, Rocco Baldelli is going to lead off for the Cardinals today. And he takes strike one. Grounds this one to third. Chief throws over. One down. Cesar is Turris now at the plate. And he takes a strike. Pops this one to first. Terry there for the second out of the inning. That'll bring Pujols to the plate. First pitch outside. Maybe up as well. And that pitch down and out. 2-0 the count. Puts this one deep into right field, but it does hook foul. Makes the count 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Pops it up foul. Tom goes back and he is able to make the play at the wall. Cardinals go down in order to start the game. Kester's going to lead off for the Squirrels. Take a look at the Cardinals' defensive lineup. I think we have seen this Melaska before. I think he was there last year. Not 100% sure of that, but I feel like we've seen him. Anyway, first pitch is inside. That pitch called a strike. In case you haven't been following along or just aren't as familiar with this game, you notice Melaska has a gray bar in his name as Kester strikes out. That means he's a computer-generated draft pick who's already made his way to the majors. I don't know what year he was drafted, but this is year 4, so he couldn't have spent more than 3 years in the minors. Granted, there's only one level of minors in this game, just AAA. Anyway, Marvin at the plate, batting left-handed. He strikes out swinging. 2 down. Chief now at the plate. First pitch called a strike. This one ground to third. Wes Helms is going to throw it over for the last out of the inning. So both teams go down in order to start the game. Hideki Matsui is going to lead off things for the Cardinals in the second inning. I did know he was a Cardinal because he was in the All-Star game. And he gets the first hit of the game into left field. That'll bring Wes Helms to the plate. I do think Helms was here last year, if I remember right. He pops up back to Gil on the first pitch for the first out. Gucci at the plate now. I think his first name is Haruhito or something along those lines. I only kind of vaguely remember that. Anyway, he strikes out. Echo at the plate, and you can see by the orange bar that he is a created player by me, and looks like he's had a pretty solid season so far. He bunts, though, but it goes foul. 0-2 the count. Sorry, my nose is a little runny, so I don't know if you catch my sniffles on the mic. My apologies if you do. Echo strikes out. So the Cardinals do have a hit, but still no runs. Terry due to lead off for the Squirrels in the bottom half of the inning. First pitch called a strike. Terry gets a hold of this one into right field, and it gets all the way to the wall for the Squirrels' first hit of the day. And that will be a leadoff double for Terry. That'll bring Frank to the plate. And he takes strike one. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Brings Tom to the plate. Pops it up foul, but it will make the screen. Hits this one up the middle for a base hit. Terry should score on this, and he does. Tom stays put at first for an RBI single. Squirrels take the 1-0 lead. Zach at the plate now takes strike one. Takes strike two. Swing and a miss, strike three. Two down, Joey at the plate now. Tom's still over there at first. First pitch called a strike. Second pitch swung on and missed. Swing and a miss, strike three. That'll end the second inning, but the Squirrels take the 1-0 lead. McMillan, the catcher, will lead off things in the third inning for the Cardinals. And he grounds the first pitch to Joey at short, who throws it over for the first out of the inning. Alaska now at the plate, hitting .269 as a pitcher. Pretty impressive. Takes a strike. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Baudelli back at the plate. Gill with 3 strikeouts the first time through the order. Baudelli was not one of those strikeout victims. He ground out. Has an 0-2 count in this at-bat. Grounds this one to Joey, who throws over, and that'll end the top of the third. Still 1-0 Squirrels as we go to the bottom half of the inning. Gill set to lead off. So I think in each of the last 3 seasons, Gill has been our top hitting pitcher, but this year I think Stitch has got him beat. Comes up with the base hit here, though, into left field for a leadoff single for the pitcher. That brings Kester to the plate. Alaska with 5 strikeouts the first time through the Squirrels order. Oh, that one gets away from McMillan. That'll let Gill move up to second. Kester with a 1-1 count. Swings and misses to make it 1-2. And looks at strike three. One down, Marvin back at the plate. He struck out his last time up. Takes a strike. Takes another strike. Swing and a miss, strike three. Chief now at the plate. I think he ground out last time. I know he made it out, but I don't remember for sure what it was now. Anyway, smacks that one foul to make the count 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. We're a third of the way through the game, and the Squirrels lead 1-0. Cesar Izturis will lead things off for the Cardinals in the 4th inning. First pitch called a strike. Second pitch swung on and missed. Gill throws a curveball, which is swung on and missed again for the first out of the inning. Pujols at the plate. He fouled out his first time. Looks at strike one. That one outside, 1-1 the count. This one backdoor slider for a called strike two. And a called strike three on a fastball. 2 down. I don't think Pujols swung at a single one of those pitches. Brings Matsui to the plate. First pitch outside. Yep. Slider didn't quite make it back to the corner. 2-0 the count. Called strike on that fastball. Put it right in the same place, and Matsui lets it go by for another strike. 2-2 the count. Puts this one into right field. That'll drop for a base hit. Which I think Matsui now has both of the Cardinals hits, if I remember right. Brings Wes Helms to the plate, and he has a 2-0 count. Fouls this one away to make it 2-1. Swing and a miss makes it 2-2. Grounds this one to third. Chief grabs it, throws to first, and that is it for the top of the fourth. Still 1-0 Squirrels lead. Terry due to lead off in the bottom of the fourth inning. Terry doubled and scored his last time up. Takes a ball here. And then takes a strike. Swing and a miss makes it 1-2. Swing and a miss at a forkball in the dirt. 1 down, Frank at the plate. Struck out his first time up. That pitch outside. That one too low. 2-0 the count. Called strike one. This one catches the inside corner to make it 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. 2 down, Tom at the plate. He drove in the only run of the game so far last time up. Way late on that pitch. 0-1 the count. This one a called strike to make it 0-2. And a called strike three on a knuckleball, which I don't believe if he's thrown it today, I've missed it. So still 1-0 Squirrels as we move into the fifth inning. Iguchi is going to lead off things for St. Louis. Swing and a miss. Gets this one into left field. Did he get all of it? He did. Iguchi's 12th home run of the year ties the game at 1. See a replay on that. 403 into left field. I don't think there's any ballpark that would have held that one. That's going to bring Echo to the plate. Game newly tied. And he looks at strike one. Pops this one foul. Chief, I don't believe will get there, and he does not. 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike three. 1 down, McMillan back at the plate. He ground out his first time up. And that curveball too far outside. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. And that one outside. 2-1 the count. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike three. That'll bring Velasquez to the plate. He struck out his last time up. Called strike one. Puts this one behind second base. Kester goes back, makes the play, and that'll end the inning. The Cardinals tie the game on a home run from Iguchi. Zach due to lead off things in the bottom half of the fifth. And he struck out his last time up. Something else I just thought maybe I should mention is after yesterday's win, we officially have a magic number of 20 already. Which, you know, that's what happens when you've only lost 14 games and we're almost out of July. Zach fouls out. And that brings Joey to the plate, who struck out his last time up. Takes strike one. Swings and misses, 0-2. Called strike three. Brings Gil to the plate. He singled his last time up. Pops this one up to Izturis, who catches it, and that'll end the inning. Still tied at 1 as we move into the 6th. Rocco Baldelli due up for the Cardinals. He is ground out in both of his at-bats today. That pitch down and out. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. Swing and a miss makes it 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Cesar Izturis, 0 for 2 today. Bunts. Chief was playing fairly in and just barely gets Izturis at first. That almost worked out, but not quite. 2 down, Pujols at the plate. He is fouled out and struck out today. Always a good day when you can keep Albert Pujols inside the park. Unfortunately, we weren't able to keep Iguchi in the park, which is why the game is tied, despite Gil having a good day. Pujols rips this one down the third base line, and it is fair, and he's going to turn that into a double. So the Cardinals now threatening to take the lead, though there are 2 outs. But Matsui, I do not believe, has been retired today. First pitch called a strike. Second pitch down and in. That pitch called a strike as well. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gil gets out of it. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order up for the Squirrels. Still tied at 1. Kester is struck out in both of his plate appearances today. And a called strike here. Alaska getting close to the end of his day. Has Kester with an 0-2 count. And a called strike 3. 3 strikeouts on the day for Kester. Marvin right behind him. He is struck out in both of his at-bats so far. Takes a strike here. Fouls this one away. Makes it 0-2. This one will get through for a base hit down the first base line. Pretty well placed as it dies kind of midway to the wall. Allows Marvin to turn that into a double. Only 1 down, runner in scoring position for Chief as he swings and misses at the first pitch. Puts this one into right field. That'll get down for a hit. Marvin will have to stop at third. Puts runners on the corners for Terry, and the Cardinals are going to go to their bullpen for Kyle Farnsworth. We'll say Kyle Farnsworth was always one of my favorites when he was a Cub. All right, Terry at the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a double and has scored the Squirrels' only run of the day. So far, anyway. And he goes down 0-2. Hop to Iguchi, who goes home with it, and not in time. Marvin scores the second run of the game to take the 2-1 lead for the Squirrels. Runners take off, hit and run, and it does not work out. Helms catches a ball in the air at third, and both runners wildly off the base, so an easy double play back to second. But the Squirrels do take the 2-1 lead. Let's see, that was Frank that made that last out, so let's... Who was pitching? Gil. So Gonzalez should come in to Frank's spot, and Quinton will go into the pitcher's spot. So the game was still tied, so I wasn't really thinking through a pitching change, and suddenly I needed to make one. All right, Wes Helms at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. First pitch down and in. Swings and misses. Makes it 1-1. Grounds this one to short, or actually no, Chief ended up fielding that one. So that's a 5-3 put out for the first out of the inning. Iguchi at the plate. He homered for the Cardinals' only run of the game so far. Has an 0-2 count at the moment, and swings and misses for strike 3. Echo at the plate. He struck out twice today. First pitch out of the zone. Second pitch out of the zone. This one is going to be ground through the left side for a base hit. 1 on, 2 out. McMillan at the plate. I missed what he's done today. I think he's 0 for 2. I don't think he's gotten a hit today. Has an 0-2 count at the moment. Swings and misses, and that's it for the top of the 7th. It's stretch time in Indy. St. Louis 1, Indianapolis 2. Okay, we go into the bottom of the 7th. The Squirrels leading by a run. Farnsworth still on the mound. Tom at the plate, and he's going to ground out to Pujols at first. That'll bring Zach to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a foul out. Has a 1-1 count. That one way outside. 2-1 the count. Hits this one up the middle as Turris is going to grab it and throw it over. 2 down, and Joey at the plate. He has struck out in his 2 at-bats. Takes strike 1. Hits this one to Iguchi at second, and that's that for the 7th inning. We go into the 8th. Cardinals 1, Squirrels 2. Pitcher spot due up for the Cardinals, and they are going to turn to Aaron Miles, who's hitting .400 on the year, though I'm sure that's in some limited at-bats. We will turn to Hermida. Which will also bring Phil into the game, which also means Kester slides over to short. All right, here we go in the 8th inning. First pitch from Hermida is called a ball. Second pitch too far inside. 2-0 the count. There's a called strike. That curveball doesn't curve. 3-1 the count. This one ground. Oh, right through Chiefs' legs. Put that down as an E5. And the Cardinals put the tying run aboard. Baudelli at the plate now. He's 0 for 3. Fouls the first pitch off. Looks at the second pitch for a strike. And lets that one go. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Brings his tourist to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. The top of both lineups are just not getting it done today. He grounds to second. Only get the out at second. So 2 down, runner still on first. And Pujols at the plate. He doubled his last time up. First pitch out of the zone. Second pitch swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. This one up the middle. And Marvin can't quite cut it off. Is this going to score a run? It does. The Cardinals tie the game at 2 on a Pujols double. And that brings Matsui to the plate with the runner in scoring position. 2 outs though, and he takes strike 1. Swings and misses, makes it 0-2. And a called strike 3 on the outside corner. So Hermida not able to hold the Cardinals, and they tie the game at 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Quinton is going to lead off with his first at-bat of the game. He will do so against Ryan Tallett. Aaron Miles stays in to play second. McMillan comes out of the game in favor of Sky. So Quinton, batting right-handed, takes a strike. That one too high. Quinton pops this one up into very shallow left, and Izturis catches it. 1 down. Kester at the plate. He has struck out in all 3 plate appearances so far. Takes a strike here. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. Puts this one up the middle for a base hit. 1 on, 1 out. Marvin at the plate. He is 1 for 3 today. Kester takes off, and he will make it for a stolen base. Runner now in scoring position. And Marvin with an 0-1 count. He's also batting right-handed now. Both of our switch hitters. He pops out in foul territory to the catcher. 2 down now. Chief at the plate. And he puts this into center field. Echo ranges over, makes the play, and that's the end of the 8th inning. We are tied at 2 as we go to the 9th. Wes Helms is going to lead off for the Cardinals. I don't really know who we're going to put into the game here. Let's go Nakai. Looks like he's good and rested. Oh, what'd I do here? Hold on, I messed something up. Okay. Kai goes into Chief's spot. Sweeney, I think I might have just hit the A button twice by mistake. Threw myself off there. Okay. All right, Helms at the plate. I believe he is 0 for 3 today. Takes a strike. Pops this one foul. Tom will not make it there. Makes the screen. 0-2 the count. Pops this one behind third base. Sweeney grabs it. Sky at the plate now. Don't know how many at-bats he's had, but Batting average is looking a little sickly there. Always like to see how my players are doing. But Sky with a 3-0 count. None of those pitches anywhere close. Finally gets a pitch in there for a strike. 3-1 the count. Now full count. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. Echo at the plate. He got a hit his last time up. As that curveball goes out of the zone. That one called a strike. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss makes it 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Terry due up for the Squirrels. And it looks like Tallett's going to stay in to pitch. And Terry looks at strike 1. That one up and out. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss makes it 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Phil at the plate now, his first at-bat of the game. Looks at a ball. Looks at another ball. Called strike 1. 2-1 the count. Grounds this one foul, make it 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down, Tom at the plate. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Drove in the first Squirrels run. Pops this one foul, but it makes the screen. Hits this one to Pujols, who will grab it, run it over, and that's that for the 9th inning. We've got some more bonus baseball. I feel like we played a lot of extra inning games lately, which is not great for the bullpen, so we're gonna get a little tricky to manage around that. Aaron Miles at the plate, who looks at strike 1, although I feel like wasn't Miles batting 9th to start with? This game does this sometimes where it does weird things with double switches and doesn't keep players where they're supposed to be. Anyway, he flies this into right and Zach makes the play. Pitcher spot now up, and they're going to turn to Troy Gloss. And he looks at strike 1. That pitch too low. 1-1 the count. That one also too low. This one called a strike. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bondelli at the plate. 0 for 4 so far today. That one misses high. There's a base hit for Bondelli. A single into center field. That'll bring his tourist to the plate, who is also 0 for 4. Called strike on a curve. And that pitch in the dirt. That one too high. 2-1 the count. Swing and a miss makes it 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning, still tied at 2. Zach due up for the Squirrels in the bottom half of the inning. McClellan is going to come in to pitch. Gloss will stay in and play third. Pujols is going to come out of the game, and Helms is going to slot over into first. Of course, as we've seen, what that actually means for the Cardinals lineup remains to be seen. Zach takes the first pitch to third, and Gloss makes the play over to first. Brings Sweeney up for his first at-bat of the game. This would be a very good time for him to have his first home run of the year. He usually hits a small handful every year. Has not hit any this year. Puts this one up the middle, and it'll get through for a base hit. So 1 on, 1 out. Quinton at the plate. He has been very hot as of late. Takes this pitch inside. Puts this pitch into deep left center. Echo's not going to get there. Sweeney, I think, is going to end the game here. He does. Your final score today, St. Louis Cardinals 2, Indianapolis Squirrels 3. Take a look at a few highlights today. All right, Quinton, your player of the game. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you'd like to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, feel very free. Otherwise, we've got another game against St. Louis tomorrow. We will see you then.